Hello and welcome to another stream. My name is Hyena73 and I'm here with
Totally unreal.
and also Old Man. Except
You won't be able to.
yeah, you probably won't be able to hear him. So anyway, as with every other stream, this stream is made to raise awareness of multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is a disease of the central nervous system that affects 23,700 Australians as of the last census. 11,400 of these have a profound or severe case of it, meaning that they're limited to the type of work they can do, the type of activities they can do, and sometimes the type of jobs they can do. Because it's a disease of the central nervous system, people experience different symptoms all the time. Some people experience extreme fatigue, constant pain, blindness, motor function problems. So yeah, it's a horrible disease. At the moment, there's only two organisations in Australia that kind of do anything with MS. One is MS Australia, which provides services and information for people with multiple sclerosis, and the other one is MS Research, which provides funding for research into MS treatments, a cure even. Please visit msaustralia.org.au and msresearch.org.au and just have a look. In the meantime, what we'll be doing today is we will be playing Starfox, or as it's known in Australia, Starwing. Have you played this before, Emily? I mean, Totally Unreal.
You always struggle with the names.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't played this one. I played Lilac Wars or Starfox 64. I played Starfox Adventures and Starfox Zero. I've never played this one, which I think is the original, right?
Yes, this is the original. Yeah. Oh, you gotta go Cornelia. Cornelia, whatever. And this music is awesome.
So I was just tinkering with the controls and I found a scheme that doesn't have inverted flight.
Oh, okay.
Which
I prefer inverted.
Yes, I know.
So anyway, this game came out, I believe, in 1993. It's obviously published by Nintendo for the Super Nintendo. Like I said, here in Australia it's called Starwing, although everywhere else it's actually called Starfox.
So is that the PAL version was called Starwing, or only the Australian release was called Starwing?
No, the PAL version. So in Europe, it's called Starwing.
It's interesting though that they called this Starwing instead of Starfox, and then on the 64, instead of calling it Starfox 64, they call it Lilac.
Yeah, I think it had something to do with Starfox was already a registered trademark in Europe, or something like that. Oh, this song is awesome.
I know obviously there's no voice in this game, and that was added in
64. Yeah.
Which is interesting because a lot of games like the 64 cartridges didn't have a great amount of storage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And like a lot of things, like for example, like famously Ocarina of Time has no voice.
Yeah, but like.
And it's interesting that they added it for
Breath of the Wild.
No, I mean, but they didn't do that due to limitations of the cartridge, rather.
Oh, you mean like, and they didn't add it for later ones?
Yeah, it was just. I mean, just the fact that obviously it was possible to do voice. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh look, dude, you'd be surprised how much you can do with a cartridge. Like Resident Evil 2, right? Which is a huge game. They somehow managed to put it on a cartridge. But yeah, actually, one of the interesting side notes about this game is it's actually one of the first game. I think it was the first game to use the Super FX chip. Yeah, which actually later on was used in a whole bunch of other games, like Doom on the N64, sorry, on the Super Nintendo, sorry, used it.
Well, I guess one thing about this game, which is different to a lot of Super Nintendo games, is that it does exist in a three-dimensional world, sort of, like a simulated 3D.
No, I think it actually is 3D, that's why the Super FX chip
whereas most SNES games were side-scrollers, whereas this, obviously, I don't have control over the Z-axis, but
no,
I am moving through the world
in a 3D way, yep.
It's really hard.
Yeah, no.
I was just saying before off the stream that it's been a long time since I've played a Super Nintendo, and my hands now are a lot bigger than when I was a kid, and gripping the controller is actually...
It's hard, yeah.
It's tricky, like pressing the left, I think using the triggers, if you will, or the L and R buttons, is definitely a little bit tricky.
Yeah. Well, I don't have as big hands as you, right? But even I, when it's a few months back, I played through Super Metroid, and I was getting cramps because it's such a little controller, you know?
Well, I think it wouldn't be fair to say that it was made for kids because there certainly were a lot of games that weren't for kids. But I
It
guess
was made for Japanese hands.
and probably the fact that I think being a video game like home console, I think even though they were growing, I mean I think that probably there weren't really the days of people sitting there all day for 16 hours playing games. Like that wasn't a common thing, which is like every other kid does that now.
Yeah.
People went and did this thing called playing outside, which I'm not sure what it's about, but I hear good things.
Actually, earlier today, before because we went and had food, right? A porter, not bad.
Yeah.
You had your veggie burger made with chickpeas.
That's true, I did.
But but prior to that, I showed you a trailer on the internet.
That's true. The interwebs or the internet?
The interwebs.
I get it mixed up.
The internet is just for porn, but the interwebs there's sometimes not porn-related stuff on there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I showed you the trailer for Logan. What did you think?
Look, I think it was okay. I think you probably oversold it to me before I watched it. I think I had seen the original trailer, #1 trailer, which I think may have been the #1 non-porn related video of that month, but obviously it was 13th feelings overall. And look, it looks okay. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I love Hugh Jackman. I love Wolverine. I love X-Men. And I absolutely love, I really enjoyed Days of Future Past. I know Wolverine obviously had an extreme minor role in that. I really liked X-Men Apocalypse, which he had no role in, I don't think.
No, a cameo.
Did he have a cameo? Was it after the credits?
No, it was during the movie. It was when it goes ape shit.
Oh, right, when he escapes. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, the actual Weapon X. Correct. I forgot about that. Is that actually Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Did you see his face?
Yeah.
God, I've only seen it once.
Man.
Anyway, so I liked that. I just fitted that in. I liked the Wolverine.
That was great. I loved it.
I really liked that. I thought it was really true to sort of the original
That was a solid
character.
That was solid.
So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I have no doubt that it will probably be pretty good. However, I understand it's the last time that Hugh Jackman's going to reprise the role, supposedly.
Yeah.
Which I find is a little bit depressing because I sort of think it's not going to be the last time we see Wolverine. And we know that it's going to be a bit like when they bring out the new Han Solo movie, that it's just not possible that anyone could be as good as Harrison Ford as Han Solo. And I think the same thing goes for Wolverine. No one could ever be as good as...
You can't capture the magic. He is Wolverine. Like, next one,
Yeah, no one could ever be as good, and we're going to have to be subjected to, I guess I'm going to live maybe another 50 years, and I'm going to have to subjected to all these crummy Wolverine characters, and we're going to be like, oh, back in our day, we had this guy called Hugh Jackman, and he was awesome. And now Wolverine, is wearing skin-tight pants and has pink hair, like, I'm not looking forward to it.
Nah. Hopefully he changes his mind and he still does cameos. Maybe this is like the last starring one.
Well, I think the cameos, is there a way to lock them?
Nope.
I've recently played through quite a lot of Starfox Zero, and I thought the reviews of it
I think they were very harsh.
Were harsh. I read a review actually really recently where I think the tagline of the review was something like, the Starfox game you wanted in 2002. And I sort of thought, like, why does every game have to be like an evolution? Like, I feel like Star Fox should always be Star Fox. I don't want Star Fox to become like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, where it's some futuristic space age thing that doesn't even remotely resemble the original. Like, I think it should be, it's a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I think that, I don't think it's going to be the thing that young kids are going to pick up and go, oh, I want to play Star Fox. It's made
for the fans.
Yeah. So it should be Star Fox.
Yeah, 100%.
And
like,
I know you have some gripes about the use of the dual screen. I don't think you like that.
You got to pick that crap up. There was like rings. That's how you get your shield back. No, but you're right. It's for the fans. And I had problems with the you're there. I had problems with some of the controls, like the switching from the D-pad, from the whatever, the pad with the picture to the screen. That being said, I know what you're saying. Like, it really was a love letter to the fans,
which I think is fantastic.
Yeah,
that
it's
doesn't happen
perfect.
often
That's
enough.
right. But like, it had all these nice little retro touches, like the puppets instead of like just the CG. You know what I mean? That puppet look instead of CG.
I think maybe if anything, look, it probably took too long to come out. It's been too long in development.
It shouldn't have come out as late as.
And probably cost too much to make. I can only assume that that long development time meant a high development cost, and I don't think it did very well. So I think it's kind of sad that that could be the last Starfox that we ever see.
Look, I hope not. But yeah, maybe. I think, to be honest, I don't think it will be the last one. But we won't get one for another while.
Well, I think with the Switch obviously coming out soon, you know, we can talk about that too. I think we're going to see, you know, Nintendo, you know, really last generation. I mean, the Wii U did poorly, and as a result, their software publishing and development did really poorly. Like, I think that was probably the worst sales for a lot of their first-party titles ever. You know, they had some games that really tanked, like, I mean, Super Mario 3D Land, and or was it 3D World?
3D World.
And Skyward Sword, like, didn't do particularly well, I don't think, for sales.
Well, the problem is, like, to be honest, the problem is not so much the games. The games are great.
Yeah.
It's the marketing. And the marketing with the Wii, they just got lucky with the whole casual market thing.
Yeah.
But with the Wii U, the marketing was abysmal. Like, people were confused about what it was and where it fit as far as, like, you know, in the generations. Because it came out, remember this, like, I mean, you probably don't remember because you probably weren't into the Wii U as much, but it came out between the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One.
It came out before the Xbox One.
Yeah,
It's
so
correct. It did. It was the first new one,
Yeah.
and it probably came out. It really was only a half generational update. Like, it picked up a lot of the things that the 360 and the PS3 had already implemented, like HD graphics, for example, but it missed out on some important things like
third-party support.
True. And Blu-ray adoption.
Yeah.
Like, lots of things. It was really, I think a big part of it was the Wii was really an unprecedented success. And it really wasn't a great console. Like, it had some fun games and that, but it was really primitive. I mean, like, we're talking, it came out, I think, in December 2006, which was after the 360, and it didn't even have HD. And, you know, I think that Nintendo saw the writing was on the wall in terms of that a new generation of consoles was coming out. There were going to be some big advances, and they were stuck with this this console that didn't even have high definition. And I think the Wii U was really a bit of probably a desperate attempt to keep in touch with the market, and all they really did was alienate all the new supporters they picked up. In terms of the Wii, by, like you said, making a product which was really confusing and nobody really understood what it was. And the price point, I don't think was right either.
Okay. Well, let's put price aside for a second. We'll come back to that. But really, I think the fact that you're absolutely right, it alienated the casual market because they saw it as just an upgraded Wii, and
which they thought, I don't need that.
Why should we bother, right? They isolated. What word did I just use? They ignored the hardcore market. They alienated. That's the word I'm looking for. They alienated the hardcore market because they didn't have third-party support.
Well, yeah, obviously things like Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever, didn't have equivalent versions.
Yeah.
Although I think they did, a couple of them.
Yeah, but they came out way after the other consoles, so they were pointless. But it was the third-party support. Yeah. So it was the third-party support. And then, people were not sure about what it actually was. It was a good secondary console. Like, it was a good secondary console in the sense that you really needed to have that and something else to fully enjoy it. To fully enjoy gaming.
Yeah, well, because, like, as you know, I picked up a Wii U, not this year, but late last year, I picked up a really good deal where I got one in, like, a stack of games, about 15-odd games, and some really good games, too, probably for about the same cost as a new console on its own. And I remember saying to you, enjoyed that time. Just tell me if you want to take that.
No, I'm happy to watch it.
And yeah, I remember thinking, because I had a PS4, and Xbox One, and obviously that Xbox One is my primary console. And I remember thinking, I really should have picked up the Wii U instead of the PS4, because the PS4 didn't have enough of its own games. You know, I think there were about maybe 3 games or something like that I really bought it for. I wanted it for Firewatch, which came out on Xbox 360 only recently. the new Ratchet and Clank, which I wanted because I'm a big Ratchet and Clank fan. I've just died.
Yeah, so you gotta start from the beginning.
Oh, which is just what I was having to do anyway.
No, from the beginning of the whole game.
Oh, that's a bit cruel.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So go on.
And yeah, whereas there's about probably I don't know, well about I can skip to level 3. That's obviously how far you've gotten.
No. Level 3 is like level 1 path, level 2 path, level 3 path. It's kind of like levels of difficulty.
Oh, so I'm playing hard now.
Oh, well, now you are, yeah.
Great. Yeah, and there's about probably 10 or 12 games that on the Wii U which are completely unique of anything that you can play on the Xbox One or PS.
Yeah, no, there's some cracking games on it, but the thing is because, like I said, because nobody adopted it, there's no attention.
Yeah, well,
to
I mean, it ultimately was a.
It's a failure, man.
Its biggest failure was the fact that it failed. I mean, no one wanted to make games for it because no one had them. And Nintendo's good games didn't sell because nobody had the console, so why would they buy the game?
Exactly. And the releases, like it'd be different if Nintendo was cracking out good games constantly, but the releases were far and wide apart, man.
Well, I think that's the problem Nintendo has struggled with for a long time. I mean, I know we got our Mario and our Zelda, but they really need more than that. I mean, I think selling Rare to Microsoft a long time ago was a big mistake. They lost. Titles which now really have never been. I mean, since Microsoft's acquisition of Rare,
Rare is a shadow
really
of its former self, man. Okay, we can both agree that Rare is not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, but things like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, I never even played it, right? But Banjo-Kazooie was one of my favourite games. I mean, that's a game that should have been on the Wii or the Wii U. Like, Microsoft should have never been able to acquire those properties because. Realistically, like a game like that, which was from what I understand, quite a good game. On an Xbox 360, it's being muddled in like a huge amount of competition. If that had come out on the Wii, I think it probably would have done a lot better because every Wii owner probably would have bought one instead of hardly any Xbox 360 owners buying one.
No, you're right. But here's the thing, right? Forget Rare, right, and forget third-party stuff for a while. Nintendo has enough of a good collection of IPs, but they do nothing with it. Yeah, well,
give me an example. Go through them.
Kirby, right?
Okay, that's true. A game did come out for the Wii U, but it was average.
Metroid.
Well, was there a Metroid game for Wii U?
But no, not for the Wii U.
Well, who's responsible for developing that?
Nintendo. It's a Nintendo IP.
Well, maybe they need to get another third-party developer to help.
Yeah, then Zelda, which they brought it out at the end, and instead they were doing like remixes and HD updates, right? And there's heaps, man, heaps of good ones. And then not just that, but like they could have brought back some franchises that they had in the past. For example, like Mega Man. There's no new Mega Man on the.
Doesn't Capcom own Mega Man?
They do, but like what I'm saying is Nintendo could have just funded the development. Companies do that all the time. Like for instance, for example, Uncharted. Technically speaking, Sony doesn't own Naughty Dog, but they fund their projects, which is why they're exclusive. Same with, like, for instance, Insomniac. When they fund the projects, they become exclusive. So, like, Mega Man, another Castlevania game. Like there's heaps of good ones, man. But instead, Nintendo sits on its intellectual properties. That's nothing with it.
They don't know what to do with them, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, man.
Anyone out there who's asking me to do a barrel roll, I am trying.
Like, there's no it's like they're living in the past, man. Like they're living in the 1980s.
Well, I think I was watching the. Excuse me while I yawn. I was watching the IGN Switch reveal, etc., whatever, back in 12th of January, whatever it was.
Yep.
And they were talking a lot about how they can really see Nintendo slipping away and probably not being a hardware developer, only doing software. And I think that, as sad as it is to say, like I've got the Switch pre-ordered, as you know, and we've had many discussions at length about it. I got it pre-ordered only because it's kind of unique, and I had a trade-in. I traded in a couple things, like my Xbox One before I got the Gears of War version.
Yeah.
And I traded in an iPad as well, so I had like quite $400 odd in things that I sort of thought, you know, EB won't give you cash anymore, they'll only give you trade credit once you take over. And I was like, oh, what should I do with it? And I was like, oh, this. And I think they had a deal going where, I think they still do actually. In fact, they do, because last night I did some more trading. Whereas if you trade in on the the Switch, they give you 20% bonus trade credit. So, you know, I was trading in like an iPad, say, for $200, and I got $240 for it. So I was getting like a 20% discount off the Switch. Like the Switch now I've paid for, I think I paid for my Switch in full, and I've got about $60 left on Breath of the Wild, and that has all been in trade credit. So I've actually paid like 20% less for it if you look at it that way.
Yeah, but look, let's talk about the Switch then for a while. Now, like I said, like I keep telling you, man, like if you were impressed enough that you pre-order it, that's fine. You know, I hope you enjoy it. You know, like you know, it does look like an interesting, unique console. But to be honest, I just wasn't impressed, and I don't know. What the hell? How did I dodge straight away?
You got hit by like a rocket from it.
Well, dead now.
Don't play on hard.
Plus, I'm gonna have to change the scheme. You know what? I'm just gonna commit suicide. So anyway, yeah. So I wasn't.
Try and be normal and play with normal controls.
No, this is abnormal.
Let me ask you this: in the real world, when you look up, do you look up or do you look down?
Well, which way does your head go? When you look up, does your head go forward, or do you pull your head back?
When you point your head up, it goes up.
Yeah, but which way does your head actually move?
I don't think this is an argument.
I can, because you're pulling your head back to look up. You push your head forward to look down.
But anyway, back to the Switch. See, I'm a big Nintendo fanboy. Nintendo 64 is like my jam. And I had a Super Nintendo. I had a 64. Look, I had a PS1 briefly, but that was only because I wanted Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the original, on PS1. You gotta press select.
Yeah, I am pressing select.
Okay. Oh, I'll press B and now select. Anyway, but Nintendo 64 was my thing, and then for whatever reason, I got a PS2. Look, I think it was because I was only young at the time. I think there was a good deal at Kmart, and my parents got it because it was the cheapest one. I was a late adopter for a PS2, because it was about $800 when it came out. I got it when it was like maybe $250, which must have been a long time later. Because the PS2 did overlap the 64 quite a bit, if I remember correctly. Because the GameCube came out a little bit later.
Yeah. I think the GameCube came out slightly before the Xbox original.
Which was 2003, so say it was 2002 for the GameCube. But the PS2 might have been 99 or 2000
Yeah,
or something.
well, the PS2 was 2000.
There you go. Yeah, well, I was only 1 year old.
Yeah. The Dreamcast was, Dreamcast and PS2 were on at the same time.
Yeah, but so my point is this. I bought the Wii on launch. Look, I never really got into it. I only now, as you know, I've been picking up a few older games from Wii and realizing that, look, I think for me, you know, what killed the Wii was just the lack of HD. I mean, you're playing Xbox 360 at the time, the games were blowing you away, and the Wii was so, even when I put on a Wii game now, it's slow, blurry.
Yeah,
I think it almost looks more like a Super Nintendo game than an Xbox One game.
Well, look, to me, graphics don't matter so much if the game's good. And some of the games on the Wii were cracking. Like, they were really, really good, man.
I think graphics for me, it's not so much graphics. I think resolution is a critical thing. Because you look at a game like, say, Resident Evil 4 remastered on Xbox One, right? Looks terrific. I know the graphics are old, but just cleaning it up, you know, putting the HD filter over it, it just looks so clean. There's no reason the Wii couldn't have been HD. It should have been HD. I'm not saying the graphics had to be better, but it should have been HD.
You're right. It should have 100% been, because that 360 was already out. But that being said, man, there's some games on the Wii where you wouldn't think they were in 420p. Like they
480p.
Or 480, sorry.
Yeah.
They look fantastic. Like for instance,
but the resolution, man, is shocking.
Yeah, but it depends on the art style of the game.
True, the cartoony games did always look better.
Yeah, like what's it called? Skyward Sword, for example, that looks fantastic.
Yeah, I've never played it.
Or even just like some of the more obscure ones, like Boy in His Blob, or Shadow's Tale. They look fantastic.
I remember the night when I went home with I went at the midnight launch at EB Games. I think it was December maybe 11, 2006 or something. And I came home with, I actually traded in 10 of my, no, it must have been my GameCube and 10 games or something. I got it for like 200 bucks. And I brought it home and I had Zelda, Twilight Princess, and I had Wii Sports. I remember I loved the bowling, like everyone did, I suppose. And I remember putting in Twilight Princess and thinking, oh my god, the graphics suck. Like I had been playing Xbox 360 for the better part of a year, and I just remember being horrified that I really never gave the game the fair chance that it deserved, just on the basis of the blurriness of it. And you know, I think that going back to what we said about this game, yeah, look, the graphics are bad, right? But it's a Super NES game, okay? And the resolution matches the polygons, if that makes sense. Or there's not even polygons, I don't think, right? But the resolution matches it. It doesn't look out of place. It's almost like, you know, taking your Xbox One and using composite cables, you know, and playing it in standard definition. You'd just be like, what's the point? You know, it looked like an Xbox game.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah.
But to go back to my original point, which I got very sidetracked from, is that I am a Nintendo fanboy, and that I think there's too many of us out there who are big Nintendo fans, who are really, you know, denying our heritage. We're buying PlayStation 4s, we're buying Xboxes, and we're shunning Nintendo. I think we should be supporting...
get to where the games are, you know?
Well, I'm not saying don't buy an Xbox. I mean, I've got an Xbox, and I'll buy the new Scorpio when it comes out later this year. I'm really looking forward to that. But I think playing the Wii U now makes me realize that it actually wasn't that bad, and that it shouldn't have failed as miserably as it did. And I was a person who's a big Nintendo supporter who didn't buy one, you know. And I think that I can predict what the Switch is going to be like. You know, I don't think it's going to set the world on fire. The fact that it's a bit unique maybe will, you know, be good for it. I think it's probably going to steal a bit too much market share from the 3DS. I definitely think that there's a potential issue there. You know, I know people talk about the battery life and stuff, but if you play a 3DS with an intensive game and crank up the 3D, it's probably not going to last longer than 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, I don't think it's that either.
So that's not all that different from the Switch. And we all have those lithium-ion battery packs now. You know, I think and I've got a big one, I don't know what it is, 8,000 milliamp or something. That's going to be able to charge a Switch, I believe. And, you know, I'd say if I go somewhere, I'll probably take the Switch with me and take one of those battery packs.
Yeah, but see, like I said, man, like, the concern for me is not the quality of the hardware. I think the hardware looks fine. It's the fact that, again, they're trying to market it for the casual gamer, you know? And also, again, they've been very confusing. They're like, oh, is it a what's it called, a portable? Is it a handheld? Is it like a home console? You know, what's its primary
Well, that is
focus,
true, but I think you'll find one thing very different to the Wii U, and obviously Nintendo's learned from their mistakes for once, is that the Wii U just sort of came out. You know, it was the Wii U and there was a screen, but no one knew anything else about it. There have been a lot of information about the Switch. There's been many demos. I think they're really trying to hit it home to the customer base, what exactly it is and how it works.
Yeah, but again, like, the problem is the fact that people are still confused. Dude, even I'm not 100% sure if it's supposed to be 100% well, because the thing is, it's going to be more one than the other, right? Okay, it can't be 50-50 both ways. It's got to be more one than the other. So what is it then?
Well, I think it is a home console, definitely. However, it really just has the option, which, and can I say we spoke about this earlier while we were having dinner, is that we spoke about one of the most underutilized features of the Wii U was that second screen, and how good it is to throw on the TV or something and, you know, play a bit of, say, you know, New Super Mario or whatever, U or whatever, while you're just watching a bit of TV. That's a great feature. Some people don't have two TVs, you know. If your girlfriend or the wife or whatever is watching, you know, whatever show, or if you're a bit younger, you know, your parents are watching a current affair or some garbage, you can play a game on there without needing a TV. So it's kind of like a TV in a way. And I think the big thing about the Switch is going to be, it's a home console, it's big, it's bulky, it's probably going to be kind of fragile. You're not going to be playing it on the train, I don't think. Not many people. But it's going to be kind of a way, it's going to be like the Wii U was, except you're not going to be stuck with this bulky controller. When you're playing, most of the time, you're just going to have the Joy-Cons on the grip and be playing in your hands. But if you want to play it, you're not, you know, like I think, you know, I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart 8 lately, and, you know, when we're playing 4-player or something, someone's stuck with the giant
The big one, yeah.
controller, and there's some garbage on the screen about, oh, player position or whatever one's coming. But it's quite a hectic game, especially when you're playing on 150cc or 200cc. You can't look down at that screen. You're just stuck with a giant controller.
Yeah, but again, like, I don't dispute the coolness of the hardware. I don't dispute that the
Have
piece.
you been dying again?
Yeah, I don't dispute that the tech itself is good. It's quite good. You're right. The problem with me is that they're trying again. Like, for instance, I think that 1-2 switch looks like the dumbest game on earth. And like,
Yeah, but I think it's the thing that annoys me about that is I wouldn't mind picking it up just because it will show off the capabilities of the console, a bit like Wii Sports did. But Wii Sports came for free with
That's
the
right.
console.
Well, that's the other thing,
They want
yeah.
$70 for
I
this.
know.
I think it's outrageous.
they keep justifying it by saying the pack-in would have made the price go up. Well, how about instead of making the pack-in, sorry, instead of ditching a pack-in, just get rid of the fucking screen. Sorry, pardon me. Get rid of the damn screen. I'll buy it separately if I want to use that feature. You know, because all I want to do is play games on my couch. And I've been talking to
Yeah, but the
mates and they agree.
screen is the console.
But no, it's not. Whatever like.
I think you might be a bit confused here. That screen has the
the
hardware
chips
in
and
it, it has
stuff
the CPU, it has the GPU. That dock, for example, you can buy an extra dock. So say, you know, you got 2 rooms of the house, you want to go and say, oh, I'll just move it into the other room. You can buy an extra dock for like $80. The dock is nothing. The dock is really just a port that connects it to the TV.
No, okay. No.
Everything is in that. That screen is everything. The screen is the hardware.
No, but I still think they should have just packed in the game.
Look, and one thing I think, oh yeah, would have driven up the price, right? But who goes to EB Games and says, oh, 1 Switch, please, on the launch day? Oh, what game would you like, sir? Oh, no games for me. You've got to buy a game, package in whatever, package in Breath of the Wild, charge $550, give them people a $10 discount. So what? Everyone is going to buy a game. You have to buy a game. You can't do anything without a game. So 1-2 Switch costs $70 or whatever. Look, make it $40 or $20 or
Change the
$50
controls.
or whatever you want to make it. Oh shit!
That's alright. It's just training.
Oh, how do I get out?
Start, I think. Yeah.
And bundle it, because at least then I think the thing with Wii Sport. What have I pressed?
I think you pressed A. You're supposed to press select.
I pressed B.
or B.
How do I go back?
You can. That's it.
Oh well. And that, you know, that's what I don't get. And I think the 1-2 Switch or whatever. Look, everyone had a bit of fun with Wii Sports, but you know, I wouldn't have imagined paying $80 for it or whatever they want for 1-2 Switch. I think I'll pick up Breath of the Wild. I think which is going to cost me, say,
Yeah, but
maybe,
that's a no-brainer.
maybe
Right?
$79 or $80. I won't.
Yeah.
I won't pick up 1-2 Switch. Well, how's our time going?
We're at half an hour.
Only half an hour. We're not going so well.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you know, I might try and pick it up. I can imagine that. I think after about a month of the Switch being out, there's probably going to be a whole stack of 1-2 Switches popping up on eBay, and they're going to be cheap. I'll just pick one up that way. I'm not paying $80 or $70 for something that's worth half that.
Yeah, but that's like, but the thing is, it still doesn't look like a very good game.
Well,
Like,
I guess who knows? I mean,
look,
Wii Sports would think
hey.
that's a lot of fun.
Prove me wrong, Nintendo. Okay, it might be so good it'll blow my pants off, and I want to go run out and buy a Switch straight away.
Well, everyone else is out there. What I hope happens.
You gotta admit, the advertisement for 1-2 Switch was rubbish.
I hope this happens, everyone. I hope that I'm going to get mine. Mine's pre-ordered. I hope that it's really, really good. I hope it sells out. And I hope Cess can't get one and is jealous.
You know.
Oh, right, yeah. Because we're so good at using pseudonyms on this.
Yeah, I know, we're terrible. No, but like, nah. Look, I eventually will get one. I can't justify it.
Right.
And-
But can
and
you justify owning how many copies of Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, but it's awesome. and I only own 4 copies.
Okay, but you would agree the best version of it is the original version, which is the one that you first had.
Yes, the GameCube version. Oh, sorry, it's for you. Sit on it.
Anyway, we got dead air here.
Yeah. So no. But like, now I just look. I'm just not convinced. Like, the hardware looks good.
But when did you
Right.
buy the Wii U?
I bought the Wii U at launch,
Okay.
and the reason I bought it was because there were a few games at the time that I was interested.
Well, that is one thing that definitely concerns me. I think we saw the reveal or the preview for the Switch, say, late last year. You know, there was the hint about, well, we knew Zelda was
Yeah,
coming.
Zelda was a given. It was gonna come.
Look, there was talk about Skyrim, which, look, I love Skyrim, don't get me wrong.
But you played it.
But I've played 100 odd hours, and I'm not a big, as you know, I don't like rebuying games that I've already. My experience with it is that, for example, I think the only time I've ever done it was I rebought. Oh no, I've done it a few times. Like I rebought, say, Banjo-Kazooie on Xbox 360, and I played it for maybe an hour, and I remember thinking, even though I finished this like 15 years before, I remembered it so clearly. It was like, oh yeah, I remember playing this. I usually get annoyed by some kind of controller gripe. Like for example with Banjo-Kazooie, it was the fact that because you only have one stick, you can't control the camera. And playing modern platforms going back to it is extremely frustrating. And so I bought, I had Grand Theft Auto 5 on Xbox 360, and then when it came out on Xbox One, I remember everyone was so wowed by the fact that it added a first-person function, and the graphics were apparently so much better. And I probably played maybe through a third of the storyline on Xbox One that I'd already finished. And I remember just thinking, it's still the same. Like, why did I pay $80 for this again?
Yeah, but see, like I think there has to be a substantial enough change for me to buy it. And
Well,
yes, I
think
know.
we both know that's not
No,
true.
no. And I was going to say before you jumped in, I was going to say that yes, there are some games that I like so much that I've got multiple copies of, like Prince of Persia, like Sands of Time, and like Resident Evil 4, and Dead Space, as a matter of fact. But you know,
What multiple versions of Dead Space?
I've got the PS3 version, PS3 version, Xbox, and PC. Yeah. No, but like
Logic, I like it.
Huh?
Because they're all substantially different, right?
Well, no. But I was going to say, like for instance, the Zeldas that I bought on the Wii U,
Well, they're HD updates. That's a bit
they're not just
different.
HD updates, but I think like they fix certain bugs.
Like the fast travel.
Yeah, fast
good
travel,
stuff.
and like some quests have been rebalanced, some bosses have been rebalanced. It's like again, like the version of Gears of War that I was talking to you about. Well, other than it
That's
looking
kind
better,
of that's kind of a remake, though. It's not just a.
but it's the same game.
Yeah,
But I think
that's not just let's just put it out in the same form, really.
no,
is it?
it's not. No.
Yeah.
No. But I like, yes, there's some games that I do kind of just buy because I like them so much and I buy multiple copies. But like that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And I don't mind if they release a new console and stuff like that. But clearly, like, other than the fact that they may have included the whole older DLC, other than the fact that it looks like.
Well, I guess if you
Well,
didn't
it'll
have the DLC, like for example, one game that I am definitely going to buy a re-release of is I'm going to get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch.
Yeah, you better have all the bloody DLC.
The reason being is that I love Mario Kart 8. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but
And there's $15 worth of DLC that I'm not buying. I'm holding out for it because I know it comes in.
do you know though? Because all we know is that it's like the ultimate version. Before
It's been announced that it's going to have all the available characters, including some new characters, and all of the available levels, including all DLC. That's been announced. So it's going to cost, I think, 80 maybe. Take 15 off for the money that I'm going to save. And, you know, look, maybe it'll be a bit better in terms of it'll run a bit better or something. I don't know, but I'm sold. And plus the fact that I'm going to be a bit desperate for Switch games because there's like none. Like the launch is like, I mean, that's a very concerning thing for me. Like Nintendo were all, you know, this whole launch window business, you know, they're going to have the games. Like they got Breath of the Wild, which is good, but it is on Wii U. So, I mean, if that's the only reason you would buy it, you could get it on Wii U.
Yeah, which is what I'm doing.
They've got Bomberman R or whatever it is, which is actually like a complete remake of Bomberman on the Super Nintendo, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't read too much about that. I'll have to take your word for it.
It's a cheaper game. I think it's only going to be $60 or something. They've got 1-2 Switch, which we've already talked about. And almost that's it. There might be one other game or something.
Yeah, our Splatoon.
No, Splatoon 2
No.
is not a launch
Oh,
game.
it's not a launch game? I thought it was. Okay.
No, it's not.
But that's the thing, man. Like, even like the non-launch games, nothing really.
Look,
gets me
Splatoon 2, I
excited.
think I never played Splatoon, but that had a big following.
Oh no, look, yeah, but
And that's an exclusive, right? So
yeah, but like
that's
for instance, I got a mate. He loves Splatoon. Like
Yeah.
he plays it online. Like people play Call of Duty, right?
Yeah, they do, but it's with paint instead of bullets.
Yeah, that's right. But the thing is, like, it's like he's not even that excited about it because it's just the same game.
Yeah, it's actually not really a sequel. It's more of like
It's an update. Yeah, it's like Mario Kart 8.
But that's the thing is, I don't really understand why Nintendo didn't say to these whatever studios, listen, we got the Switch coming out. We need a game.
Yeah.
You know, we'll pay you X dollars.
Yeah,
you know, and we need a game by this date.
Again, it comes down to them sitting on their IPs. Like,
You
you
know-
could have made a really good Metroid game.
And like even
Yeah.
if they were weak, like I'll give you a good example. Okay, when the 360 was coming out, obviously launch title was an issue.
Launch titles are always
You know,
good.
they got Rare to make Perfect Dark Zero. Now look, it wasn't the greatest game in the world, you know, but it was fun, and you know, it was technically sound. It was a fair show off of the Xbox's HD graphics. It had a good online. You know, would it have been any better off, you know, coming out a year later and being 10% better? Probably not. They needed to get it out, and they did. And I think Nintendo really needs to do that. Bring out, you know, Super Mario, whatever, Volume 1, you know, charge half for it, and at least have some content.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, but actually, to be honest, that's another thing. Like the new Mario game,
Odyssey.
yeah, it looks crap, man. Like, it reminds me too much of Sonic 06. Did you ever play Sonic 06?
I didn't know. It sounds like it was probably a good one.
Yeah, it's a good thing you never played it. It's horrible. But that's what it kind of looks like, man. Like, when you start taking Mario out of the mushroom. I'm serious.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
I feel like when Homer visited the real world.
yeah, it's just awkward for everyone. I don't know, man. I'm just, I'm not.
Ooh, alrighty, okay.
Yeah.
I think we're getting a bit stale with this game here. Do you want to wind this up?
Yep. All right. Well, we didn't make any progress, but at least we showed off the game.
It is really hard, people, so don't judge me.
Yeah, and we haven't played this. I haven't played this in years and years and years. So anyway, and to be honest, I don't think I've ever finished it. So anyway, we'll call it quits. You keep playing it while I do the outro. Okay.
Outro away.
Okay, so as with every other stream, this was made to raise awareness for multiple sclerosis. Please visit msaustralia.org.au. Just check it out. These videos, the ones I can monetize, because no doubt Nintendo's going to flag this and not let me monetize it, but the ones that I can monetize, I monetize. So if ever I make anything off it, it'll just go straight to MS Australia or MS Research. But I think I'm a long way from that. So please visit them, check them out, just have a look, spread the word about these broadcasts, these videos, and until next time, yeah, I'm Hyena73,
Totally unreal.
and Old Man here behind us with his mouth shut. Thank you.
Masturbating furiously.